Hello and welcome to Definitely Watch It Episode 3, and I am proud to say, roll the intro! What's that? We still don't have an intro. Still. And I'm still talking to myself. Okay then. Yeah. This is a show where I talk about two films. The first film will currently be in theatres, and the second film will be no longer in theatres and already released. Alright then, with no time to waste, that's a ruler with all the kings and queens of England on it since 1066. And if you were a kid growing up at the same time I was in England, I bet you had that ruler. And moving on to the movies. This episode, the currently in theatres film is Mad Max Fury Road. And I really don't swear that often, but my two-word review for this film is holy f***. This film is insane, but in a good way. One of the things I really liked was that this film was very true to the title, as everything in it screamed mad. Like, crazy mad. Everything was crazy. The costuming, the story, the setting, the characters, the cinematography. It was all crazy. And I did quite like that because it gave the film a kind of standout uniqueness. Is that a word, uniqueness? I don't know. I'm a fan of Tom Hardy. I think he's a great actor and he made a good Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. And I thought he was also very good in this. Another strange thing about this film was the lack of dialogue. I'm not going to guess the number of lines of dialogue in the film because I'd probably be wrong, but it was very few. Which I think was a good thing because it allowed the action to, well, speak for itself, which was not at all a problem because the action was really good. Now, a lot of critics suggest that if you haven't seen the other films, the style of movie it is wouldn't really make much sense and might come across as bad. Having said that, one of the things I didn't really like about the movie was that there was just that one kind of plot line and there was nothing else, and everything in the movie only existed to push that plot further along. So many of the characters did kind of feel quite one-dimensional and the movie didn't have much depth to it. But then again, it didn't really matter because the surface of the movie was so good. It wasn't really an issue that it didn't have anything else going on. Some of the fight scenes and actions were beautifully choreographed, and the film succeeded, in my mind, of being that insane film that you'd probably buy on Blu-ray. In my opinion, it's an entertaining watch and it's a movie that strived to be different, and I liked that. So Mad Max Fury Road, I'm going to give a rating of if you get a chance, watch it. I'm aware that a lot of people won't really like the style or kind of direction of the movie, which is perfectly understandable, and so that's why it sits nicely in the if you get a chance, watch it category for me. Alright then, moving on to the film that's no longer in theatres, and a film that couldn't be less like Mad Max Fury Road if it tried. One of my favourite movies, The Social Network. One of the reasons I think this movie is so good is there's as much behind the camera talent as there is on-screen talent. And its 5 Oscar nominations and 3 wins are evident of that talent. Starting with the on-screen actors, Jesse Eisenberg earned a deserved Best Actor nomination for his role of Mark Zuckerberg. He's a very believable fit for the character, and his mannerisms and often fast-paced speech makes what could be quite a dull story feel very alive. Andrew Garfield's also a suave, awesome individual, and he's also really good in this movie as well. Another reason this never could have been a dull movie is because of the behind-the-camera talent. Director David Fincher is a Hollywood heavyweight, and some of his other works include Seven, Fight Club, and Gone Girl. There are some great scenes in this film that are really stylized, and the juxtaposition of those scenes with the boardroom scenes helped to give the film a bit of body and moments of visual eye candy. The film was written by the accomplished writer and one of my personal heroes, Aaron Sorkin. His works are often so sophisticated, yet at the same time relatable and captivating. I mean, The Social Network is a film about the lawsuits that ensued after the creation of Facebook. Now, that doesn't sound like the most interesting subject, but Sorkin and David Fincher are able to get to the core of this story to create what I think is one of the most compelling narratives in the last decade. And just as you thought this film couldn't get any better, Justin Timberlake shows up out of nowhere and brings a kind of fresh edge to the film that I see as the cherry on top. Kind of like when you get a little mint or chocolate with your bill at a restaurant. Your meal wouldn't have been lost without it, but as soon as the mint arrives, you realize how great it is to have a mint at the end of the meal. Okay, that analogy got a bit out of hand. Anyway, The Social Network, a film that defined creativity by attempting to bring a relatively tenuous story to life, and succeeds. I think you should definitely watch it. Well, that concludes this episode of Definitely Watch It. If you've seen either of the films I've just talked about, feel free to put your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching, my name's Owen, and remember, that's the way the cookie crumbles. I'll see you next time.